Do-rag wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Y2k19.09.23. First day of autumn. The autumn, which I call the autumn of abominations. I'm going to give you some important information for the autumn of abominations for Y2k19. There is a little more than 13 months to our Y2k20 presidential election. With the possible fall of Trumpist Bibi Netanyahu, we don't know if he's out yet. I mean, he's out, but maybe. But if he is out, can the downfall of Nazi Trump and other dictators be far behind? And remember, we must crush Trump in the Y2k20 election. They didn't crush Trumpist Netanyahu in the Israeli elections. We've got to crush this creep. Europeans take to the streets when they get pissed off about things their government does. Remember Paris? When they see their rights being threatened, they act. How much more so should concerned Americans take to the streets to fight the Nazi Trump threat? A whistleblower was extremely concerned over the Nazi Trump's contact with the Ukrainian president. The Nazi Trump Justice Department is trying to block the whistleblower from contacting Congress. In fact, the Nazi Trumpist administration is defying Congress every way that they can. Just imagine if President Obama did the same thing to the GOP-controlled Congress when he was president. See how utterly absurd, outrageous this is? Traitorous? What, are we all asleep? Too much reality TV and those dumb commercials blunting our senses? We must take to the streets, if you can, to demand that the Democrats under Nancy Pelosi to take action and impeach the fiend. I know it's only 13, months away, plus 13 months away, but they should start something. It's their obligation. It's no longer just a political thing. This thing is for the protection of our Constitution. This is what Congress is for. Stop the dithering! This dithering on the part of the Democrats could turn out to be just as tragic for our country as it was for Hamlet and his. Stop the dithering, Democrats! The dithering Democrats. That's what I think I'm going to nickname them. From now on, I'm going to start. Until they impeach the creep, ladies and gentlemen, from now on, the nickname for the Democratic Party is the Dithering Democrats. And by the way, it is not the Democrat Party. I'm not calling it the Dithering Democrat Party like this Trumpist and teabagger Nazi creep. They love to call it Democrat Party, making the word Democrat a slur. It is not the Democrat Party. It's not the Dithering Democrat Party. It's the Dithering Democratic Party. Democratic Party, Trumpist goons. See, I don't insult the GOP anymore in terms of making up funny names of what their party is. Because I contend over and over again, we don't have the Republican Party. That doesn't exist. It's the Trumpist Party. Don't have to agree. And about agreeing and disagreeing, please check the message boards whenever you find the time. I must still answer some recent message boards which may require me to skip broadcast days. And I will continue to broadcast these commentaries even if I have just one subscriber. I do not block people from posting unless they are using over-the-top hate speech. So if your post is not seen, I have a wonderful person, Miss Juanita, whose post wasn't seen. If this happens, please let me know and I'll try to find out what's going on. But I'm going to tell you in advance, I have no patience for the tech companies. And that's for another broadcast about the tech companies and the conglomerates, and now send us our media. Got to talk about this. Also, visitors to this page can disagree with me, because you're going to disagree with me whenever you feel you want. So feel free at any time to instigate some debate. Very important. As the year progresses, the last year of this creep, hopefully, the fight is going to go into a frenzy. To coin the cliche, the air is going to be electric. And who knows what and who is going to be shocked to death. So again, feel free to instigate debate, because I'm going to get wild, more wild, I believe, as time goes on. Once again, my political views may seem as if they're all over the place. This is because I am not politically correct. I am not politically correct in the Maher sense. And not in the Nazi Trump sense. The use of the word political correctness, when I say I'm not politically correct, it's different if you talk in the Maher. We can talk about that another time. Words, 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 as Hamlet said. I consider myself a socio-capitalist, aka democratic socialist, because I am paying a mortgage for private property, and yet I believe in bigger government to share the wealth for all. For those who are visiting me for the first time, if you see me wearing a do-rag in any of my future broadcasts or pasts, it is not for cultural appropriation. It is mainly in honor of my do-rag wearing ex-students who used to get hassled for wearing them. I personally did not give a shit, hope this goes through, for them wearing them. Again, I work out of my house and often broadcast in my kitchen. Therefore, I call my broadcasts kitchen sink, quote unquote. It is a British cinema tradition. A movie that takes place in a neighborhood, usually a working class neighborhood. Kitchen sink, where you really feel like you're in people's houses. Like, for example, Mick Jackson, who directed Threads, the classic nuclear war movie, called his work a kitchen sink nuclear war drama. Now, I work in the outside world, so to speak. I'm not in the studio, and you're going to hear street sounds. You may have heard before my air conditioner go off. You may hear music in the background. I try to put some music on in the background. And in the future, I'll try to tell you who's playing, if that's okay with you folks. And there will be times I won't play music at all, if there are some people who don't like that. You're going to hear street sounds, you're going to hear the sounds from my house, except me farting, because that would go too far. And I don't have my odorama devices set up yet. Sorry about that. I'll let you know when that is done. We are in a cold American Civil War right now. If anyone believes less, or if they believe that my use of this term is overheated rhetoric, they are making a tragic mistake. Write to your congresspeople, folks, and to your senators to demand that they impeach this creep Trump. Demand that they stand and defend their way of life against this out-of-control, sociopathic, criminal birther Nazi bastard. The Trumpist Nazi Party is waging a battle and not holding back. And again, it's going to get worse. Look what's going on with what he tried to do with Ukraine. Impeach him. Now, I'm presently viewing the third season of The Handmaid's Tale. And it would be a hell of a lot more intelligently entertaining if it wasn't so disturbing. Because this is precisely what you see in that movie. This is precisely, and I mean in the miniseries also, what the radical religious extremist right Taliban want in our country. And I'm not talking necessarily about the Muslim Taliban. I'm talking also about the extremist Christian and Jewish Taliban, the extremists, all these extremist religionists. I am a proud atheist member of the Jewish tribe. I despise the clergy, and I despise the fundamentalists who want to turn our country into a goddess damn theocracy, like I see on that Handmaid's Tale. And that's why I can't enjoy it as much, because I see it's trying to happen. I'm not asleep. The Nazi Trump maggot, if he manages to get another term, the Handmaid's Tale is exactly what we are going to get, but much worse. True naked reality in our naked ape world is always worse than what is depicted on the movies or on the TV screen.